Hey, what's up, Scott with Imagination Creation Films, and today we have a very special live stream today. We're here in a hidden booth somewhere. I've basically commandeered Red's set, and we're going to do a promised live stream that a lot of you are looking forward to with the now advisor, Jared Land from Red. And let's just bring him in. Jared, could you...
Dun, dun, dun. I'm a visitor.
Hello, sir. It's very good to see you.
We're in person for the first time.
We are, first live in person. That is amazing. First, thank you for
thank you for inviting me.
Yeah. I was like, hey, we could pull this off, and you're like, yeah, I don't know.
Well, it's a crazy, crazy world right now. Lots of questions, lots of answers.
Yeah.
So thought this would be probably the best thing just to do is something like this.
Yeah.
Unscripted and unsupervised. Oh.
I got it.
Almost unsupervised.
Yeah, good to see you. Yeah.
This is Keiji. This is Scott.
Hi, Scott. Good to meet you. Nice
Hello,
to meet you.
Keiji. Hi.
This is Keiji.
Hi.
New CEO.
Oh, hi, everyone. Hello, everyone. It's glad to meet you, and I'm very great to be here. Thank you so much.
Everything good?
Yes,
good.
so far so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, you got to get to your meeting.
Yes, I have to.
You don't want to see the...
Oh, yeah. See you right
I
soon.
advise you,
Thank you.
not to stay.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'll see you soon.
That's Scott.
Yeah. Remember Scott. He's really a good guy.
He's
Keiji's really good.
Very nice. Very nice guy. Lots of smiles. I like that.
You got questions?
Oh, well, lots of questions, and I'm sure we're going to have some.
Start? Where do we begin?
Well,
this feels a little weird.
It does feel a little weird, and I'm sure it probably feels weird for you. So maybe tell us how we got here, like now. The
whole acquisition?
Thing? Yeah, kind of good, because there's a lot of...
Keiji gone?
Yeah.
It's actually interesting because it happened so quickly. You know, people over the last, since we started, but a lot of people... Am I in focus here? Or are those the cameras?
Those are different cameras. Don't look at that. Look at me.
Oh, good. People have come and tried to buy or wanted to buy Red many times. Every few years, it seems like there's a new one. And we had this patent thing with Nikon that during we never really thought much about each other, really, like honestly. Obviously, everybody knows who Nikon is, and they knew who we were. There was a moment where the negotiations was taking a long time, so we put a pause on the patent so we didn't have to go to court, waste a bunch of legal. That's a normal thing to do. Everybody thought, the whole world thought the wrong things. Of course, they don't understand. But so we stopped, and then we started, we just put a pause on it. The lawyers kept, just trying to figure out what to do. And in the meantime, we started meeting Keiji and Ike and this Z9 camera. Because to us before, like the Z6 and the Z7 were pretty cool cameras. The Z9 changed.
It was a
there
big
was
step.
Something different about Nikon with these cameras. And we didn't know. We both,
Nikon?
Jim and I, Nikon. So we both bought this camera, like, wow, this is a different company. And then we talked to Ike and Keiji, and they're so similar. Obviously very, very different, but culturally and corporate and structure-wise, but just the passion in these guys. These two guys, and Keiji was the product guy for the Z9 and Z8. They knew cameras, and you don't really get the heads of companies that actually, most can't even turn on a camera.
Right.
Business. Business. So we just kind of got along. I went down there in July. This is last year, July.
Yeah, I would say
Like it was
Is
less
there-
than a year.
I think this could be probably disclosed. Could you put a date on when, like, the first conversation that would lead to a potential that somebody might want to buy? Because there's so many rumors out there that it's all this and that. But if you have a date that you can say it's about this time.
It was, well, when it was actually like we knew we wanted to work together.
Okay.
It was a decision. And I've been talking to, Brandon, he's gone already. I've been talking to a lot of people, including yourself, that in this world, we cannot live independently as, doing these niche things, every company.
You can't be good at everything.
And I've said, I've actually said before I said the best thing for the customer and the best thing for the company is to find the synergy. And I had the third-party program for ages now, but learning to work with other companies and finding a company that actually thinks like you and makes products with that same fire and that passion is very rare. And we saw it with these guys. And it was about the people. It wasn't about the company, it was the people. First thing. So I saw that when I went. Jim saw that really quickly. We both visited in July. They came in August to visit us. They visited me at the studio, visited headquarters and, the engineering offices. And that's when it got so I'd say August is kind of when it got serious.
Get some serious, yeah.
Yeah. It's like, wow, we can actually do this. And then you saw when I was in Tokyo and I caught on your scene, it was like, wow, it was a surprise how quickly it goes. But it goes quickly because when two companies actually want to work together, it's not this weird hostile takeover or something.
You're not trying to outmaneuver.
No, there's none of that stuff. So it just was, let's get together as quickly as we possibly can so we can actually make something cool. And then we had that I went on your live stream from in front of their office. And, and it was really cool because I was really excited about the potential. And I told you at that point that, it's going to be hard from a people, like getting these people to like so different cultures and such two different worlds to work together. And we were just talking, Keiji and I were just talking about this with John, but and this is after that until literally Friday. Friday I went to headquarters. You're too busy over there?
I'm trying to
order
line up these questions here.
Amazon
it's like,
open over
pizza.
there.
I'm ordering stuff. Just let me have it.
Nachos. Last Friday I went to Irvine, drove down to Irvine to meet Keiji, and it's still very like staff kind of new. It's a new marriage basically, so it's always a little bit weird.
Right.
But I walked up the stairs, and people have been to the Irvine kind of headquarters. There's these kind of two shipping containers hanging from the sky with these glass windows on the side, and they're the big meeting rooms. And I was meeting Keiji over on this one, and Ike over on this one, but all the engineers were in this one. Our engineers and the Nikon engineers already, like this is quick.
Already talking.
But let me tell, this is the most important. It doesn't matter the marketing, all the bullshit. When I went up the stairs and I looked at the engineering room with all these engineers, they looked like they were working together for 10 years. Like they were over each other, like typing on each other's keyboards, and it was that was when I felt, okay, this is pretty okay. This is a relief.
Engineers that were finally allowed to talk about stuff together.
For all of us that actually shoot the cameras, the engineers don't get together, we're screwed. I mean, then the product sucks and nothing matters. That synergy right there, all the other people stuff can figure itself out. Those
they'll
guys are
follow,
already,
yeah.
you know, and I don't want to stereotype, but the whole unemotional, you know, logical, they're like, wow, we got new friends that know a lot of stuff that we don't know, and we get to work together to make something even cooler. That's when I thought, okay, this is cool, because there was so much, and a lot of confusion from weird press releases
Right.
and like all weirdness, you know. So there's the timeline for you. I mean, up until
I mean,
then.
that's a cool answer, because it's not a typical answer either. It's- so would you define, was the acquisition the right time for Nikon or the right time for Red?
Both. And I don't want to speak for Nikon, obviously. For Red, the Komodo kind of introduced us into, it's what I think Phil just said this, but what the Scarlet 3K, remember that whole thing, was supposed to kind of do. But what the Komodo did for us was open up this door of a lot of content creators, and
Yeah, it was a,
you know, a
it was an
little.
entry point.
It's not a low market, but it is an entry part. It's like an entry point to the big market, to the higher market. But we as a small company, we couldn't do that by ourselves. The feasibility for us to make that move with a small manufacturing supply chain and, you know, audience, it just wasn't possible. Now, Nikon on the other side, they were looking exact opposite. They own this. They were on a roll with this, with the Z9 and the Z8, and so they're, you know, they went from, you know, 20% to 110% kicking ass in the still market, and they realized, okay, we want, you know, to go upper, and we either
want
do it
some more.
ourselves and try to build it, or work with us. So you get kind of the best of both worlds, which is pretty cool. I think it's pretty cool.
I'm
don't
speechless
have
for a change. It's weird that
I can't believe you're hesitating with me.
it's not the hesitation. I'm just like,
Oh, you actually have notes over there.
I wrote down a couple of things in the shower. The weird place to write things down.
Oh boy, time to leave.
Yeah, well, don't worry, they were clean. But so what? Change. We'll kind of flip around a little bit here, because
Yes,
keep people interested. So
If I'm talking too much, just stop me too. 'Cause I go
No.
on and on.
no, you do you.
Roll on.
So people ask a lot. They're like, "I just bought a camera. Is it done? Are we done?" I know that Red had a roadmap for, and it's not public. Sometimes you might make something public, but then maybe you can do some more today. You had a roadmap for how things were going to be, a firmware, your thoughts and where things were, and then now Nikon comes in. What can they expect, or what can they hope, or what should we be looking for?
Well, so nothing's going to stop. I mean, even RF support is not going to suddenly stop by our choice and, you know, Red Nikon's choice. Of course, there'll be the opportunity at a Z mount option, just like we were just talking about this, like the Red One, you could buy, you know, the option, and we still make multiple mounts. But that's not going to end the current lineup, and firmware is not going to stop. Like I said, the engineers, this wasn't pretend working they were doing. They were
they're
deep
at it.
into
They're
solving
already-
problems that on the Red side that we couldn't solve.
Pain points are getting solved.
It's amazing. It was really, truly unbelievable to see that. And that's when I was kind of like, oh God, okay, don't have to really be nervous about this. So that's not going to, it's going to take some time. You know, I saw a rumor today like, oh, I'm not buying a app or a Raptor or a KX or any whatever, blah, 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 because there's a new Nikon Red coming out at Cinegear. It's like, no, it takes, I mean, you know the timeline. I just told you the timeline.
Yeah.
We started a week ago, kind of, and it takes a few years to get actually a new product.
So would we
together.
see? Well, I'll double question here. So like Raptor X just came out and it's phenomenal, and it's just now a baby, and so it has a long history of firmware coming and cool things and all of that. And I completely lost the second one because that's what I do. Will there
still be firmware upgrades for yes?
Except for
that team didn't just disappear.
Right.
Will
there be then like a parallel? You said the Z mount might come to there. Will there be parallel
as
lines
as an option?
So we're likely to continue to see the body styles that we have,
right?
With new. Okay.
It's kind of like at a small fraction, you could pick a PL mount or you could pick a EF mount. And other companies do this as well. Those options that's an option though. It's not we're stopping making these because we're only making these.
Do you think, and I know you're an advisor, and we'll touch on that in a moment. Do you think
I
that
love
would be
being an advisor?
It's like I can say whatever I want. I have no responsibility whatsoever. Do you think people will have the option to change what they have over?
Oh,
Is that like if I have an RF and I want to go Z, is that something that is possible, or most likely would just go? You have to go to the parallel.
right on the obviously on the XL that's not going to work. On the normal cameras, I can't see how that would be a user upgradable change.
Definitely not user, but yeah.
Down the line for new iterations of stuff, there's tremendous opportunity to make changes.
Another upgrade.
But I'm not gonna say no to that because I think that's a great idea. Maybe it's a trade-in thing down the road or something. If I have an RF and want to go Z, that's for we have to talk to Keiji about this.
Yeah, let's pretend they're not here. Do you think
I love this idea.
Do you think they're going to continue the upgrade program?
That's not supposed. The upgrade program isn't supposed to be never-ending. I made it very clear. Now,
right, but
it's not a pain in the ass as it used to be.
Oh, okay. So I remember you said that the upgrade program is kind of a trial, that you might consider it over again if it's not a pain in your ass.
If it turned out to the way it used to go, it would have stopped
like no way,
now.
never.
The upgrade program was this whole, we say a lot of things and obsolescence, obsolete. The intentions are right. The upgrade program was us being a little naive about, and it's the little things too, like upgrading the sensor. Might be like, okay, we can just keep all the boards and upgrade the sensor and charge $5,000 and you just keep getting a new camera and then do the boards and But even stupid little during the process of making cameras, you have these kind of rolling changes in development and engineering.
Right, and they're multi-tiered, and they're on each other, yeah.
So 1 month you might have a component or a capacitor or something stupid, even a bolt that's like, okay, they don't make this anymore, so we got to find a replacement, but it's a little bit different size. When you're making it all together, you can be like, okay, let's put a little nick in the board or make the mechanical a little bit to compensate. And the engineers have this Rubik's Cube jigsaw puzzle to do this, which is great. But when you go back and say, okay, let's just upgrade the sensor, you realize, oh, we can't because something on the board changed or something on the mechanicals changed. So you end up having to change the whole camera. That hurt us at the beginning because we really didn't know what we were doing. So there was a lot of those changes, a lot of board changes as time went on, a lot of sensor board changes. Am I getting way too deep into the woods here?
No, it's good. But this is actually, though, it's going to be the shortest Scott live stream ever, because there's people over here going.
So it just didn't work back then, and it cost I'm not kidding. It cost us more to do that program than we made from it. So we brought it back. When we finally brought it back this last time, and I was shocked that Sean and Tommy said, yeah, it's a great idea, let's do this. It's like, woohoo! It was kind of a wait and see, and I think we made it clear, like, this isn't a never-ending thing. It might go away at any point. When it gets to the level where we're losing money to do
There's no longer.
everyone. You know, none of that can stop.
All right, let's-
And trust me, Nikon and Nikon's not going to
Yeah,
subscribe to
They're
this
just like,
whole.
oh yeah, we'll just write some money for that. Yeah.
They're very customer first. Trust me, more than any other. If you're a Nikon customer and you have especially a Z9, Z8, and you see the firmware upgrade cycle that are kicking our ass, frankly, then they know that they're very customer centric. But losing money isn't any part of the game.
Let's flip the chapter here. Ding, found it. You found the barrel.
Found my red one.
Hey, nice. There's a lot of confusion, a lot of
Yes.
a lot of misinformation, a lot of guesses, and a variety of any other adjectives you could throw out there for the announcement of Jared is fired. He is an advisor fired, advisor.
So
And then-
yes. So, but that's not in America. Advisor is a very polite way of saying these are, because remember, Jim and I were the only owners of Red,
Right.
and it's very normal to call advisors or fellows, or there's a bunch of weird American kind of spins up.
Friend.
Hi, very thanks for your help. We've got it now. Thank you. See you later. Have a nice day. Thanks for your help. Goodbye. It's very different in Japan and Japanese. The whole advisor thing means something very different, and it's very important. And at the same time, me continuing, this was determined at the very beginning. This is one of the parts, and I told you this Raptor
Yeah,
X
you
was
did.
my
And
retirement
I kept saying,
camera.
no,
This
don't say
wasn't
that. Don't say
like-
that.
Yeah, this wasn't a surprise at the end, like, Jared, goodbye, see you later. This from the beginning, it was,
This
you
is
know
a
me.
Good retirement camera.
You've got to hand over your daughter to get married, and you can't be standing in the doorstep, and say, sitting on the couch saying, hey, how's everything going? You got to kind of let it go.
Right.
For the best of
Sure. Yeah.
the family and the product.
The bird needs to leave
So
the nest.
that's
is it.
the advisor thing is serious on both sides. I'm committed to help them as much as possible, and they've already.
Yeah, you don't want the transition to go bad.
No,
you
of
want it,
course
yeah,
not.
you want it,
Not for
it's your
them
baby.
and not for you guys.
Right.
Really, as the customers, and I've told you this, the opportunity here is so big to make something really incredible. Like these two technologies together. The people thing is the people getting together with the people is the hardest part. I told you this on the last thing.
Yeah.
The communication and miscommunication and translation is a lot of just that translation. A lot of words don't mean. The whole advisors. And now, Jim, I haven't seen him so engaged. He's really excited. He's really excited about this because we've been shooting a lot lately, and he's been shooting a lot, and they're so good in Tokyo to hear, not just on Red stuff. This is also on Nikon stuff, on Nikon stuff, to hear the feedback. And so that advisory role is important to both of us, but it just means different things. It's like the whole CEO and co-CEO
Right.
thing. It means something very, co-CEOs exist in America. It's not really a thing that happens in Japan. There's a lot of weird translations, and then you get these press releases that are unlike any Red press releases you ever seen. I mean, you look at the press releases. I mean, I'm hearing laughing. That's, very quickly, you can tell I had no hand in this press
Right.
release. This isn't a Red press release. And people are like, oh my God, it's the end of the world. It doesn't matter. Like that stuff doesn't matter. You have to understand now there's adult supervision where we didn't have any before, and there's a process to this. A public company with a process that things have to happen a certain way, and that's a good thing. It wasn't bad before, but it wasn't necessarily good. So a lot of that confusion is just these things will change. That whole nothing will change thing.
Yeah.
That's Gar,
It
I
has to
told you
change.
that.
It has to change, yeah.
Has to. If
Yeah.
it doesn't change, why are we doing
I mean,
it?
it's.
It doesn't make sense.
I always thought I understood Jared speak pretty well, but you kept saying retirement cam, retirement cam. Now I take you seriously. You literally, the other day you said you were eating sardines, and I'm like, eating sardines? What is that? It's a fish company. What? No,
I love sardines.
so I'm gonna get pushed out of here.
Are we really out of time?
Okay. Well, all right then, because you'll give me a 5-minute warning. Okay. So let's see.
We got lots of time.
Oh,
I hope.
good. Yeah. Well, I mean,
I'm a guest.
you can advise against
I can
this cutting
advise,
off, I guess.
But that's, so that whole, I think a lot of the communication while you're reading those questions, a lot of the confusion is just from that change when being told there was no change.
Right.
And it's clear, change isn't a bad thing. And you don't have, and Tremblay, Matt Tremblay. That's a great example. This is a great example because, Matt is incredibly, Matt.
That's
Smart guy. You can just sit down and talk about that guy about design for 10 hours and he'll blow your mind. He stepped back from this as well. He's got so many projects he's working. We're still doing GDU stuff, But there was a time, and I'm not comparing ourselves to Apple in any way. I wouldn't have the audacity.
because you can't talk about Apple. No.
Well, but when Steve Jobs passed,
Yep.
and a lot of us were like, "Oh God, Apple's going to go to crap,"
Right,
and what are
right.
they going to do? And then when Johnny Ives stepped aside, they're like, "Oh my God, Steve's gone, now Johnny's gone, Apple's done, it's over with." Apple's just fine. They're doing a lot of cool stuff. Yeah, it's a little bit different. The glass thing might have been, it looks great. Johnny probably had a little touch in that in the beginnings of it, but Apple's just fine. Red's just going to be fine. I'm still helping. I will yell. Trust me, if you guys start feeling like you're getting tricked or forgotten about or anything, trust me, I will fly to Tokyo. Well, I don't have to fly because Keiji's coming up. Keiji's committed. Keiji is coming up and he's taking this very seriously. But I will drive to Keiji and I'll sit down and be like, hey,
This is
important to the community and the customers, and they will listen.
And that doesn't mean every little thing, guys.
Not everything. And please, that's the other. Like,
this is not throw the flag up in the air. Let's.
And Keiji's very busy. Remember, please, I was very accessible where you could email me. I mean, people call me at 2:00. You can still do that in the morning and say, my camera's not working, please help me. I was customer support for a lot of customers because I'm one of you. It's like people call you at 2:00 in the morning and say, hey, my Red camera, you don't work for Red, but people say, I need help.
And I help.
It's just because I'm one of you guys.
It's
Don't start calling Keiji and saying at 2:00 in the morning. Not yet, at least. Let him at least get used to the first part of things.
I'll take that statement as a perfect segue to a thing. First, I want to personally thank you, and probably on behalf of many of the Red users and filmmakers all over the world for being accessible and being community focused. Your whole start in this was community. And that's how I learned. I literally learned on your DVX user back in the day.
That's how I learned.
It's
I chose to start DVX user instead of going to film school. Honestly, quite honestly. I had a job and I was like, I can't, I had my company to run.
It's a great one.
I can't go to film school. And I thought, I'll just start this thing and ask so I can ask questions.
Yeah,
so it's the same.
Yeah, and that's why I do this. It's why I do these live streams and I have people on. It's just giving back how I learned, because that community is fantastic. So I wanted to thank you for, I don't know if you started a trend or you rode a small trend and turned it into something big, but it is huge and it's meaningful. And I know that Nikon is a different style company, but I would offer at any time to facilitate any kind of just conversation at any time, or welcome, just come out periodically and just say hello and talk to the users. It's something that the users of Red have loved, the accessibility, because they feel like their voices are heard. And I know business. It's tough to get information up, but it's the users feel great when they get that conversation. So I thank you for creating that, and I welcome and hope that at some level that Nikon can do something similar. If not, yeah.
I don't want to speak for you're breaking the fourth wall. You're supposed to pretend there's nobody else in the
We
room.
don't pretend anything on this live stream.
But there's
except my wall.
Yeah, there's obviously, they have assured me the commitment to the community, to the customer. We have Nada. Remember Nada?
I love Nada.
Nada takes care of the VIPs of my world. Really, Michael Bay, David Finchers, all of the important people at the very high end, and all the very important people that are just starting. And you guys are connected now. And we'll say it live, so we can't take it back. But there's going to be, I will lure Keiji into maybe once a year. We'll come here.
It doesn't have to be me. I will.
We'll get a chair for Keiji and we'll have a discussion for the community, because it's very different. You know it, understand it. All the awesome people here, customers in this room know it. But that's foreign to a lot of businesses. A lot of businesses look and they don't understand, that thing. Nikon does. They understand that.
And it's that trend that I think is key to surviving and succeeding and innovating in the way that your customers and new customers want, because they see the interaction and they see that their voices are heard, and they're like, this is the company I want to work with. And that's definitely been Red for so many for that reason.
Thank you for that. That means a lot. Honestly, it does.
Bob Gundu says he retired at the same time. Are you an advisor too there, Bob? Where do you go now? What are you going to be doing? What do you want to be when you grow up? I'm a serial, I wouldn't even say entrepreneur, because I just get I've got like ultra ADD, and I get ideas and I start these little companies all over the place. But I still, the studio in Hollywood is still ours. I still own that. Studio is not part of the deal. It's kind of my home. It's also Nada's home. So Red and Nikon are going to have a presence there as well, which is, of course, they do already. So there's that whole part of it. I've got my whole other world over here. I've got almost 3 weeks away from opening Parkade, which for the studio, which is the boringest thing that anybody's ever done. But a parking structure, I swear, is the best business in the world. No people, no maintenance, no nothing. If I would have only known 30 years ago. Just finding
But
spots
these little
for people
things
in
are
life.
like, that's a big project. Building a parking structure, 5 stories, floor in the middle of Hollywood is a big deal. That's one of my new things. I've got a lot of crazy...
From Red to parking.
I know.
We're connecting to the customer and finding people places.
Wow, this started because I couldn't find a charger. This is how this starts.
So you're in the wrong...
Couldn't find a Tesla charger in Hollywood because there isn't any. So I had Tesla over and said, how do I get chargers? And Elon gave me he actually sent me a box full of level 2 chargers, not superchargers. I don't want these. I want superchargers. Well, you need a Parkade. Okay, how do I get a Parkade? This is how my broken brain works. And now we have this beautiful Parkade, which is actually good business, but with chargers in it, not superchargers, because then I went and bought a Rivian, and it's this long story. But
So they're pulling a giant cane over here. I don't know if it's to yank you or yank me, but is there anything that you want to say to?
are we
the
really
user-
done?
Oh, now. Oh, we get.
Oh,
Right.
sorry. There's a bright light. I can't see actually who's over there.
I mean, just how are you doing?
I'm fantastic. You know I can go 8 hours.
know.
I will do
We
that.
have like a horde of people that have to get back into it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we're boring. We're literally
No,
boring.
not at all.
Borrowing the set here. Oh my, we'll have a follow-up one of these. I think this was really cool. I really wanted,
The timing of this is awesome.
I wanted
because
everybody to meet Keiji
that was also incredible. It's
because
very nice to meet you.
Keiji's awesome. He's really awesome. He really, really, if anybody can, nobody could be me, and I wouldn't want anybody to be me because it would be a
Yeah,
horrible.
that's redundant. I mean,
Yeah.
that's
They would get fired.
if there were more people like you, there'd be less people like you.
Yeah, it's horrible. But with that same, there's that same fire of I want to make cool things, and from a completely different culture. Keiji's the guy, so I'm really happy he's the one that's stepping into those shoes.
I'm gonna do something weird. I'm gonna take a selfie because I want.
I got shots of you guys.
Okay. Oh, there you go. They're like that. Yeah. All right. The reason is that I want what he's saying. I feel it because Keiji's right.
Yeah.
Keiji's right over here, and he's smiling, and it's the most sincere smile. It's not fake. It's not. I am big boss. It is. It is sincere, and he's.
Keiji, come back over here. Come on.
You can see in his body language that.
sit down for a
we're
second.
wide now. Though. Okay, we go. You
Not
can
for
see.
one. And you don't have to say. We don't want to put him on the
Yeah.
spot.
Yeah,
It's a week ago. I would have felt like, because he had to leave and he came back, and I thought he's coming back because he's scared I'm going to say something bad. I would have thought that before I knew him. Now I know he's here watching because he's excited, and he wants to be part of it, and he wants to know the customers. This is really weird.
Doesn't it feel weird? It's,
Okay, go back over there.
this is
I'm like,
I just
I'm
wanted,
a horrible advisor.
I wanted you to see.
But thank you,
Yeah, thanks so
Keiji.
much.
Thank you,
Yeah.
brother. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I hope this, Mike. I mean, it's just so awkward, but there's no script to any of this.
No,
But this, but it's really cool when you have. Now Nikon's part, and Nikon's part of this. No other company's going to do this. Well, maybe they'll start copying this stuff, but this doesn't. I couldn't imagine anybody else doing what the CEO, the new CEO, myself, you, in this weird little room, talking to the customers like this, just is something that is so natural to us, but is so foreign to so many people. And I feel like we have to do this more often. And I know Keiji, and if Keiji's busy, so it'll be people from Keiji's team, Nada, there'll be a lot more of this. Because that's the one thing, closing is just like any marriage, and the new husband starts buying with kids. The husband starts buying ponies for the daughters and motorbikes for the son. Both sides treat the customers or the children, they have a duty to show that they're important and they're loved. A lot of customers, I think, felt, what the hell's going on? These press releases were really weird.
they were opposite. That's.
But if you look at these, and I'm looking horrified at these press releases, like, oh my God, this is so not read. But you look at every press release in the last 3 weeks, and that's a normal press release.
Yeah, but it's a
normal
corporate
business.
world. I'm reading those, and I'm reading Jared. I'm eating sardines. What does that mean?
And it doesn't matter. The real is that's stuff that's going to change. And it's okay. Who cares?
Right.
As long as we keep what's happening in this, what you feel in this room right now, that's what's got to stay. And I think that's the only important thing. And I'm telling you, to have Mr. CEO that should be off in another meeting right now, standing here with this crazy YouTube channel, this crazy guy. We're supposed to have food, but that tells you. I think his presence tells you all you need to know. Honestly,
it speaks a lot.
Trust me, there's a lot of people here, a lot of really important people here, a lot of really, really important people that are begging to see this guy, and he's standing right here, listening to the customers. So
it's not the beginning of the end.
And we have Nada saying,
she's like, let's go.
All right.
It's not the beginning of the end. It's the end of the beginning. It's
a new beginning. It's a new beginning. Everyth's going to change.
What are you doing? You're just like, it's now Scotcha. No.
It is a new beginning. Nothing's going to change, but everything's going to change, if that makes sense. Stuff that matters to the customers, it's hopefully going to get better. Everybody's going to try to make it better. There'll be mistakes. You're going to see a lot of stupid things that both sides do in the next couple weeks, next couple months, maybe the next year. Who knows?
Don't second guess everything and don't extrapolate from everything. Eating sardines sometimes means eating sardines.
There was a secret message.
Damn it.
We'll find out next Friday.
Oh, no. Thank you, Jared. Seriously, thank you for doing this. We're going to wrap it up here. I bet you don't know the end phrase, do you? But you don't know the end phrase that I used. You're always gone, but
long gone. Everything.
So we're gonna wrap it up. Don't let your passions center around your life. Let your life center around your passions.
So do you want me to start out or
just start out. I'll do a little further.
Oh, good idea.
We know who you are.
Sure.
Okay, I'll take it.
You wait 3 months, nobody will know who I am.
Yeah, well, same here. What's up with the more? Yeah, the moray is insane. Ah, got it.
Okay.
It's going out. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah.
Sure. Ooh, there's people out there.
Oh boy, a lot of people in there.
Have you been on a Volcom live stream before?
Said he'll talk for about 30 minutes, and then I'll be listening, and Jared will make it pretty obvious.
Yeah, no kidding.
But I'll make sure.
All right, are we good? Because I'm ready to go. We're good? Are we rolling?
She'll know. She knows me very well.
I do.
That's me going live. Yes.
Yo, kick it off with a cinematic spin. Scott Ball come in the frame, let the quest begin. Dropping knowledge on the true visual truth defend. In the lab or with the lens, your story never ends. Train an eye like a hawk, his cuts real keen. On a filmmaker's journey, scene by scene. YouTube channel on blast, hear the subscriber scream. Scotty B, rock the reel like you never seen. He keeps on sharing the sights. He keeps on setting the lights and the lights. Yo, Scotty B with beats, he's breaking it back, frame it up, roll it out, ain't no skill he lack. With each clip that drops, man, the knowledge stacks. An 80s flow with a vision on a never-ending track. Click, clack, lights, camera, action, start. Got that VHS vibe, retro art, spinning stories so fresh, they off the chart. Scott Bach comes quest, it's a visual art. He's got technique and flair in every part. Hip-hop, rock the frame, Scott's a chart topper. Yo, 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 let's rewind and take it from the top with SB in the shot. The frame don't ever stop. He's slicing through the film with the wisdom of a sage. Press play on the beat, turning lights visual page. He's got that filmmaker's hustle, every edit sharp, and he's got the mic so cutting rhythms won't ever skip a beat. Hitting plays equals drop. His teachings never flop. He's the visual king. Control the zoom, the pen, the crop with a flash. Cutting nicks, watch the story unfold. He's director of the game, scripts made of gold.